Alrighty, so we have a fun one here. So Cheyanne Bays versus Gloria de Paula. Gloria does have a 2 inch height advantage and a 4.5 inch reach advantage, so that's a decent, frame advantage in at this weight class. So yeah, let's see if she can use it. Alright, so breaking down the striking of these two, it's going to be a clash of striking styles with Muay Thai and boxing. Gloria de Paula obviously has that Muay Thai background. Everything's with intent. Doesn't move her head off the center line too often. That classic Brazilian Muay Thai. But everything's with intent. Everything's with power. Heavy body kicks, heavy high kicks for southpaws. Bays isn't a southpaw, so that does limit the kicks of de Paula. But she still has very nice kicks. Good power on inside low kicks, low calf kicks. Still throws the body kick as well, even against orthodox fighters. She has hands too. Like, she isn't completely useless when the opponent does get in the pocket. She has a nice 1-2 that she'll use to keep the opponent at bay. And as I said before, everything is with intent, and even her boxing is as well. You'd have to give the boxing advantage if it does get in boxing range to Cheyanne Bays though. She actually has quite nice hands. She's very light in her feet, has good movement as well, likes to close the distance, throw the 2-3, 1-2s, mixes it into the body as well quite frequently, which is nice. I like that. And when she does get the pocket, she's very comfortable, like in the pocket, and she's very comfortable in a firefight. She has a very nice counter 3 as well, nice counter 2-3 when the opponent does close distance. But Gloria de Paula, she generally likes to keep her range and keep it at kickboxing range. So I'm expecting Bays to force the action here and then be the one to close the distance. But Bays, she does clinch a little bit too much for my liking, because generally she does have an advantage on the feet, but then she kind of clinches up for some reason, and it's probably just inexperience. She's quite young in her MMA career. But I do think her clinch game needs a little bit of work. Elbows in a contender series fight, the elbows from Rose over the top, so they were obviously coming. Rose was trying to get that overhook, really fighting hard for it. And then trying to, pull that underhook down. But, she just needs to work on her pummeling game a little bit. Conejo, she gave Conejo the overhook that led to the head and arm throw, which was basically her, demise, her kryptonite in that fight. But, that will come with time. Her pummeling game will obviously improve fight to fight. Much more experience, on the mats with training partners, just working on pummeling, working on the clinch game. It's going to improve, fight by fight. And Paula, she does have a nice clinch game. When she gets the Muay Thai plum clinch, she has nice knees to the body. Goes for like a hard frame off slashing elbow when she's breaking off the clinch. But yeah, her clinch game is quite nice, and I do think she has the advantage there. How these guys win fights, so for Gloria de Paula, she's vicious. She's trying to take your head off. She's very aggressive, which I think is good in these lower weight classes of women's MMA. I think it's quite a good, attribute to have. And for Cheyanne Bays, she has nice hands and she has good volume with the hands as well. How these guys lose fights, so for Cheyanne Bays, I think it's a little bit of greenness, slash fight IQ, makes a lot of mistakes, which in fights where she definitely could win, or she could win a bit more easily in fights that she does win, kind of makes it a little bit hard on herself. But that will come with time. I do think she's, a good fighter. Obviously has a high ceiling, so, hoping she works on those aspects of her game. And for de Paula, she has poor get-ups, no urgency to get off her back, just kind of sits there and lets the opponent control her. And in general, just a bit novice on the mat, makes a lot of mistakes, lets opponents control her really easily, doesn't really look like she knows what she's doing off her back. Pass to victory for these two. So basically for both, just don't let the opponent or the other person get the range that they like. So for Bays, get in boxing range and then look for combinations. And for de Paula, look to keep it at kickboxing range, because I think that's advantageous to you. And also look for the Muay Thai plum clinch when she does close distance, and then look for straight knees to the body. And that kind of might deter her from closing distance a little bit, and that would be good. Also, try to turn that clinch into the fence clinch, look for knees to the body. I do think you are this bigger, stronger girl, so, use that size and try and push her to the fence. Try and bully her a little bit in the clinch and try and take advantage of that deficiency that I pointed out before in her clinch game. And for Cheyanne Bays, look to mix in takedowns. As I said before, she's like, not very good off her back, so look to take her down and try and exploit that. And look to catch a kick as well, catch a body kick if she does throw one, and then look to take her down from there and get some top control. How I see the fight going, so I think this could be, quite an entertaining fight if it does stay on the feet. Both hit hard for strawweight. Both have very good straight punches. I think the power and the size advantage go to Gloria. But I do believe Cheyanne Bays is going to be the one having more success on the feet. I think she's going to be able to dictate the range and, implement her game a little bit better than Gloria. She's going to look to close distance, get in close proximity and then land her combinations. As Isabella de Paula was able to do when she fought Gloria, she kind of just came in, overwhelmed her with pressure and combinations. And I feel like, Bays can do the same. She's a much better striker than de Paula. Paula looked terrible in that fight. She looked very uncomfortable with the pressure. Another wrinkle to this fight is that I think Bays trains with Jin Yu Frey, who just beat de Paula. Maybe a similar game plan is on the cards, take de Paula down and just kind of control her on the mat. Seems like the path of least resistance to me. Bays not really known for her wrestling, but she has shot takedowns in the past, and it doesn't take much to take de Paula down and control her on the mat, so, potentially the same thing here. Alright, if you could like the video and all that kind of good stuff, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much for that. Alright, so the prediction is Bays by decision. Yeah, I think probably a little bit too much of a favourite at the moment. She's probably going to stand and bang with de Paula, and de Paula has a shot in the feet for sure. Probably wouldn't bet this one at all. Both are very green. How many fights they had collectively? Like under 20 probably. And yeah. But if I was about anything, it'd be de Paula if the money line keeps going up.